Hey besties, it's Lisa Marie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I love you guys. In today's video, I'm going to show you the bamboo rings from Dollar Tree and 5 different things you can do with them. Today's video is also part of a hop. In my description box, I will have the hop information as well as a playlist in case you would like to go watch it on the playlist. You're gonna love the other friends of mine that are in this collab, and I'm so excited for you to see what they've done. Let's get started right now. I've got these bamboo rings from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 3 of the smaller ones for this one. I've got that brass napkin holder from Hobby Lobby, and I've got these tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree. I've also got these pit berries from Hobby Lobby. They were all on sale. And then I have just a bunch of raffia that I bundled up. I'm going to take my pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly. I'm going to paint all 3 of these hoops and cover them completely. Then I'm going to take my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint, and I'm just going to kind of heavily dry brush. There you go, you can see, so the orange is peeking through. And then I'm going to paint the 2 tumbling tower blocks in the white. I just want to make sure that I get all the painting done and out of the way, and then I can clean that all up and move on to the rest. I don't know about you guys, but I make a mess. I'm going to take these little hoops and I'm going to put one inside of each other, kind of perpendicular. And then I'm going to hot glue it. I'll slide it over a teeny bit and then put the hot glue and then slide it back. I'll do it to both sides. Then I'm going to take the third one and at another angle in between them, I'm going to basically do the same thing and just slide them over and then put some hot glue and then slide it right on top of the hot glue on both sides. That way it'll stay in place and it won't move around. It's pretty firm even without the glue, but I didn't want to take any chances. Next, I'm going to take the 2 tower tumbling blocks. I'm going to hot glue them to the bottom, and the reason I'm doing that is it won't stand up without it. It still didn't stand up really well. I had to make some adjustments, but anyway, that's something you won't know until you're doing it, but it's an easy fix. Next, I'm going to hot glue that little brass napkin holder on top, kind of to the side a little bit. So you'll see I'm only putting the glue on 3 of the pieces on the top, because I want it to angle a little bit, and that's going to be our pumpkin stem. Then I'm going to take the pit berries and I'm just going to wrap them around. I'm going to take a long piece and wrap one side around the finger and then go to the other side and wrap it around. And that way I'll just have one long piece and a little flat area for the middle. And I'm going to hot glue that to the top, and that'll be the pumpkin's tendrils. I always think that's such a cute look. Then I trimmed my little raffia bundle and I'm going to hot glue it right below the stem. And then I cut up a bunch of the pieces of the raffia. I'm just going to stick them right in that stem just to kind of fill it in. And then I've got this cute little kind of orangey ribbon. I'm going to wrap it around some fingers and then take the end pieces and wrap them around the center and hot glue it and make a cute little bow that does not have tails. I'm just going to hot glue that right in the middle of the raffia. I've got these teeny little sunflowers. I'm going to put 3 of them on there. Actually 2 of them, and then I'm going to put some other berries from another pick, which got some styrofoam ripped off. So I just used a little black marker to color that in. It's in the back. You probably won't see it. I've got this cute little votive glass container, and I'm putting some stickers. It's like double-sided stickers that I have. And I'm going to put that in the bottom, and that way I can get it to sit, more permanently, if you will, in the middle of this kind of pumpkin votive. And I think this is so cute with the light on. It's just adorable. The only thing is I do want to put some leaves at the very bottom. I just think that kind of dresses it up and it covers the stand a little bit. And I really feel like that finishes this off. You have to let me know what you think. This one is my favorite, I think, of all of them, but you'll have to let me know which one is yours. If you are enjoying this video, please stop what you're doing right now and hit the like button. I would really appreciate it, and it tells YouTube to show my video to more people. Thanks. For this DIY, I'm going to take those bamboo rings and I'm going to use only the large one. First, I'm going to trace on this piece of scrap fabric I had around in my stash. I'm going to cut that out. Then it's wrinkled, so I'm just going to iron it real quick with my little mini press. And then I'm folding it in half because I want to cut one that is half the size. So I'm going to lay that on top of the fabric and trace around it and cut that one out as well. So now I've got a full one and a half one. So what I'm going to do is fold that one back up, and I'm going to create a pocket with this. Now, I probably only needed 2 half pieces, but I didn't think about that until after I cut it, so it's okay. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is use my Beacon Fabric Tack glue, and I'm going to glue the 2 pieces that were, you know, the one that's folded in half. I'm going to glue that together, and then I'll glue the other one to it, so that will create my pocket. So I'll glue everything on the rounded part, but nothing across the flat part at the top. Then with my fingers, I'm just gonna pull around the edges and kind of make them shabby a little bit. And I just like that look. It's a little more rustic. And then I'm going to hot glue this pocket to the inside of the hoop. And there I'm gonna show you that I did it all the way up to the top edge there. And I'm gonna do that all the way around the half circle portion. Once that's done, I found these faux leather words at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use the word blessed for this. I thought this went really well with this rustic piece. I'm going to use that Fabric Tack glue again, and I'm just going to put it around all of the letters, and then I'll set it right on top of the pocket. And I've got a bunch of flowers and pics from the Dollar Tree, all different kinds. And then a little bow and some berries. I'm just gonna cut up little pieces. I like to arrange them with individual pieces because then I can put them exactly where I want them. I'm gonna put some hot glue on the stems and just put them in exactly where I want, and then they'll stay in place and I don't have to worry about them falling out. And I'm being pretty symmetrical for the most part. I tend to do that. And then I'm gonna put that one really pretty flower right in the middle there. I just love these colors. They're very traditional fall. I'm going to hot glue around the edges of the leaves to make them sit exactly the way I want them. I'm going to take a piece of rope here, and I'm going to figure out how much rope I want it to hang by, and then I'll hot glue the 2 ends onto the side. And then I like to take some masking tape, put some hot glue over the top of the rope, and just cut a little piece of masking tape and put it right over. That seems to just really seal it, and the edges don't fray that way. I'm going to hot glue the little raffia bow that I have right under the word blessed. Then I'm going to cut out those little berries. They're kind of fall looking berries, and I'm just going to put them right in the center of the little bow. And that's it. This one's done. I love it. Let me know what you think. Are enjoying this video and want to see more, definitely hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you back. For this DIY, I'm going to use both the small and the large ring, and I'm going to use these little pumpkins. Actually, I only use one, and then I've got some more of the flowers here from Dollar Tree, and then I've got this placemat that I got on sale at Hobby Lobby. I had used it before and put burlap. We'll take care of that. And this cute placemat that I found at the Dollar Tree. I think it's so pretty. So I'm going to clip the larger hoop to my placemat. That will make it so much easier to cut. Otherwise, it's just going to wiggle all around. So I'm going to kind of do a rough cut around it, and then I will remove that burlap that I had on the back. And then I'm going to take some scrap fabric that I have, and I'm going to cut another circle, and I'm just going to use the one I already cut as my guide. And I'll trim it later, so it doesn't have to be perfect right now. Then I'm going to take the placemat, and I'm going to hot glue that to the very back of the hoop. And if you're wondering, I couldn't find my little silicone thing that I usually use for hot glue, so I was grabbing all kinds of things. So I ironed my fabric, and now I'm going to hot glue that with Beacon Fabric Tack glue to the back that now has the placemat. And I used those little clips from the Dollar Tree to hold everything in place till it dried. Now I'm going to take the smaller hoop, and I'm going to just put it on the placemat and just cut around this one part, not where the words are, but where a little bit of the picture is. And then I love the buffalo check. Isn't that a gorgeous color? And I'm going to hot glue the smaller hoop to this one. So I started on the front, and then I just turned it over, and now I can go ahead and do all the rest of it all the way around. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to go around the edges and get any little pieces that might be hanging over. And then I'm just going to take my rotary tool and do the same thing with the other one. That one was a little thicker. So now I'm going to hot glue a piece of rope all the way around. I got that rope at Walmart. They just have the best price for that spool of rope. And then I'll cut it off and just add some glue at the end to make sure that it lays nice and flat. And I'm going to take a little piece of rope and make a hanger. Now please don't laugh. After I was done, I realized that I kind of put the hanger on crooked. And I put these little teeny pieces of a little cupcake holder on the back to cover up the ends. Anyway, it's still going to hang right because I'll just hold it the right way when I hang it up. But I was like, what are you doing? Now I'm going to hot glue the smaller piece to the top piece, and then I'm going to cut a little piece off of the pumpkin because I want it to lay flat on there. And then I'm going to cut a little piece of a dowel. I'm going to make one end at an angle. I'm just going to cut a little piece of a dowel because I want to make that my pumpkin stem. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it on some tape and just paint it with my burnt umber apple barrel paint. And I'm going to hot glue it right into my little piece of the pumpkin, and then I'll hot glue the pumpkin right onto the smaller hoop picture. And then I'm going to put a bunch of these little flowers on there. They're just from a random pick from the Dollar Tree. And once I get those on there, I'm going to take one of those larger flowers. I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to attach the leaf first and then the flowers. That way I can put it exactly the way I want it. And then I've got this little thankful word in this pretty brass color, and I'm going to end up attaching that as well. But we'll get the flower on there first, and I will hot glue the little edges of the flower so it lays right. And now I just have to put glue in 2 places to make this little sign stay. And this is so cute, you guys. I love it. Feel free to check out my Amazon favorite store. The link is down in the description box. For this DIY, I'm just going to use the large hoop of the two. And I'm going to use a bunch of these little pumpkins. I think I got these at Hobby Lobby last year on clearance. And what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to put my hanger on now so I don't forget later. I'm just going to cut a small piece of rope and I'm just going to hot glue it to the back. I'm not going to make a large hanger on this one, just enough to hang it with a nail. Then I'm going to use a little masking tape and put a piece on each end with some hot glue to make sure that the little ends of the rope don't fray. Now I'm going to take a little utility knife and I'm going to cut a groove in the back of the pumpkin, and you'll see I'm just going to go 2 rows, like one cut down and then another one right next to it, and then on each end I'll cut a little bit, and then I'm going to rip that piece out because that piece is going to actually sit over the hoop, and I'm going to hot glue it there, and that way it will be very secure on the hoop. You can see about how much I cut out there, and then you see how it fits nicely on the hoop. And so I'm going to now put some hot glue inside that pumpkin first. Then I'll put it back on the hoop the way I want it, and I'll let it dry just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back with some hot glue over the top and just make sure it's very secure. That way there won't be any openings for it to get loose by. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm not going to show you all the pumpkins because now you know how they're all going to be done the same way. I'm just going to randomly pick pumpkins in whatever order that I like, and there you can see I've done a little more than half. And in just a second here you'll see the whole thing finished, and that's what the back looks like. And I've got this cute little fall sign. It's made out of metal or tin from the Dollar Tree. I am literally just going to hot glue that right on top. And then I'm going to cut out some of these leaves from a leaf pick, and I'm going to get the sign on first. I just looked first to see where it would touch, and that's where I put the hot glue, and then I'm going to add some more in the back and just secure it. It's a very light wreath, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And then I'm going to put a little flower to cover the hole on that sign, and I'm going to add some little fall berries right in the middle of the raffia bow that was already there, and then a little sunflower on either side of that just to dress up the bow. Now we could stop right here and it would be really pretty, but I did want to put some leaves on it, so I added a few to the bottom. And then I thought, that's it, and I love it. Be sure to tell me what you think of this one. I invite you to follow me on social media. Links are in my description box. If you've come over from one of the other channels, thank you so much and welcome. And I hope you'll consider joining my channel by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the future content that I make. Thanks. For this DIY, I am going to use just the small ring of the 2 bamboo rings. And then this was a straw hat from the Dollar Tree that I cut off the brim for another DIY. So what I'm going to do now is I need to make the top a little smaller in order to have the ring sit on it. So I'm going to use my little clips from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to clip, kind of like 4 corners, if you will. And now you see how I can kind of sit it in the smaller ring, and I'll be able to maneuver it so I can pull that ring up about 2 rows from the top if you want to count those little pieces of the straw hat as rings. And that's where I'm going to hot glue it. So you see it's like the second one. I'm going to go around and just use my little clips as I glue it. I'll put a clip on it and let it dry, and then I can hold it in place and nothing will slide. And I'll just do that eventually all around it. I will have 2 little pleats in there, actually 3 pleats. 2 of them are on the inside and one's going to be all the way down like a seam. And you can see I bent it in or folded it in, and I'm going to clip it on the inside and also on the outside to make sure that stays, and that'll be in the back. But I needed to do that in order to make the basket more symmetrical, if you will. And now, this was from a paper bag. You know how sometimes they have those little handles? Well, I don't waste things, so I kept it, and now I'm just going to hot glue it right in there, and that will become our little handle. And then I'm going to take some raffia that looks kind of like straw and put some in the bottom, and I'll move that around as I go. And I'm going to add a bunch of different colored pumpkins to this. And this is just going to become a cute little pumpkin basket. Talk about an easy DIY. And I added some leaves. And now I'm taking a little piece of frayed burlap and then a little raffia bow that I already had. I'm going to hot glue that over the burlap. Kind of gives it more texture. And then this really cute little sunflower that I got at Hobby Lobby last year. Got a bunch of these little fall things. And then I have a couple of wood little cutout leaves that were also part of a pack that I got at Hobby Lobby. It was like 40% off. Keep an eye out, you can get some great deals there. Isn't this so cute? Talk about easy. This could sit on a tier tray or anywhere you want to put it will be so cute. I want to remind you that this is a hop, so the next person in the hop is Christina Elizabeth. Her link will be down in my description box, along with the playlist with everybody else. Be sure to let me know which one of these DIYs were your favorite today. Thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it, and you are truly a blessing to me. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to have some more on the screen on either side of my head. Click on one of those next, and if you go, I'll see you there. Bye.